Good day everyone, especially to you, Sir Montesa. We're here to present to you our created program. So this is our created system. This is created by myself. I'm Julios
with the help of
And I'm Jovie Martin Drilon.
and this is presented to Mr.
Randy Montesa.
Our created program is the bus reservation and ticketing program. Our goal is to create the application includes adding passengers' records, billing and viewing the total record. In order to add a passenger, the user has to provide the passenger's name, destinations, number of passengers and discount number. Other features include the viewing, available destination records and billing. So once again, our features would be login system, view destinations, add passenger, billing and viewing the total records. To present to you the pseudocode.
So let's proceed to our pseudocode. First, to start, and second to initialize by the user password YN search game choice. Our area available is ticket integer, ticket string, and ticket double. Our double area case is the same. 3 for int O equals to 1 and O less than equals to 5, O plus plus. Our available is O equals to 20. 4 if the user equals to admin and the password equals to admin. And next for int x equals to 1 and x equals to 1. Our output is your choices. Destination, 2 passenger and 3 billing address, 4 view and 5 to exit. Our input, enter the choice and 4.
So if chosen the 1, the output would be the destination place, the fare price, and the seat available. The output also would be the PWD or the person with disabilities, the students and senior citizens is with 20% discount. So, and if else?
Next, else if choice is equals to 2, int print equals to 1. Our output is destination fare, seat available. If available 1 to 5 equals to 0, our output is sorry, we don't have available seats for all destinations. Else, for x equals to 1 and x equals to 1, our input is enter the passenger's name. For int, I equals to 0, I is less than z, and I plus plus. If ticket string I to 0 equals to ticket string z to 0, our output is sorry, passenger name have already used. And if, and else, and if. For x equals to 1, our output is destination fare seat available. Input the enter destination number. If 2 less than 1 to less than 5, our output invalid input. For int b equals to 1, b less than equals to 5, b plus plus. If 2 equals to b, if available 2 equals to 0. Our output, sorry, we don't have available seat. And if for x equals to 1, our input, how many passengers have discount? If ticket Z1, greater than ticket I Z equals to 0. Our output invalid input. Number of passengers are only ticket I Z 0 plus and if. Else, break the output to passenger's name, passenger destination, fare price, number of passenger with discount, ticket string Z2 equals to 0, and else if n. Else if choice 3, our input enter passenger's name for int b equals to 0, b less than z, b plus plus. Our output passenger name, passenger destination, fare price, number of passengers with discount. If ticket string B2 equals to X, our output passengers already paid. Passenger details else ticket string B2 equals to X. For X equals to 1, our output passengers total fare. Our input enter amount to pay and change B equals to pay. B's ticket to double B2. If change B is greater than 0, output invalid input, else output change. And for, and if, and else, and else, and if, else. Else if choice equals to 4, for int sx equals to 1, sx less than equals to 3. Our user input search passenger's name. For x equals to 0, x less than equals to z, x plus plus. If search equals to ticket string x 0. Our output passengers details, passenger's name, passenger destination, fare price, number of passengers with discount, and total fare price. If a ticket string x2 equals to x. Our output pay, change, status paid. Else output status not paid. If s equals to 1, our output passenger's name not found. And if, and else if. Else if choice equals to 5, thank you, and 18 else our output invalid input. For y equals to 1, if n equals to 1, our output, do you want another transaction? Yes or no? If yes or no equals to y, else if yes or no equals to n, else our output is valid. Else output invalid user or password, and else if, and else, and if, and else if, and else, and else, and our last is that.
Our flowchart, if you're confused by the pseudocode, first is to start, then next is to initialize the user, password, the yn, search again, and choices. As the string, then the array is the available, the ticket I, ticket S, the ticket D, or which is the integer, the string, and the double. The doubles are array, pay, and change. So we're going to be asked to input the username and password. So if it is the username and password is equals to admin, then we're going to see the output would be here is your choices. We're going to be asked to input what function that we need or that we want to do. So if it is no, that it is not, the user and password is not equals to admin, then we're going to be once again see to input the username and password. So if it is now yes, then we're going to see once again the output. Here's your choices. So the destination, passenger, the billing, the viewing, and lastly the exit. So right after that, we're going to input what we're going to choose. Then we're going to be to off page. So if one is chosen, we're going to see the output as the destination place, the fare, And then the seat available, so we're going to be asked, do you want another transaction? Since the goal of number one is just to view the destination, then if it is no, then terminated. If yes, we're going to be asked if it is that we want to do another functions. So right after the functions, we're going to the off page. So if 2 is chosen, we're going to see the output. Then right after the output, we're going to be asked if the seat is still available. So if it is not, we're going to see, sorry, we don't have we don't have available seats for every destinations. Then right after that, we're going to be once again to see the output, the destination, fare, and seat available. So if it is now available, we're going to input the passenger's name. Then right after passenger's name, we're going to ask if does the name exist. If it is yes, then we're going to see the destinations available. When it is not available, sorry, where the passengers exist. So once again, we're going to input the destinations. If the destination is still available, we're going to view now the total bill. Then right after that, we're going to be asked if we want to do another functions. We're going to be asked to choose another to go to the off page. And if it is not, we're going to be terminate.
Third one, we will go to enter the passenger name. Then go to, if the passenger does not name exist, if it say no, we're going to A. And we will proceed, does the passenger already paid? We're going to the output. And then passenger already paid. Passenger's detail, if the user enter going to yes, do you want another transaction? And then if the user say no, it will going to stop. If the user say yes, our output, here's your choices: destination, passenger, billing, view, and exit. Our input, print, enter choices. For the user input, enter the passenger's name again, and if the passenger name doesn't exist, if you say no, you're going to A. And if you say yes, does the passengers already paid? That's the question. And then if the user say yes, we're going to output in passengers already paid. Our passengers details, we're going to, do you want to transaction? If the user say no, it will be stopped. If the user say yes, we're going to output, here's your choices: destination, passengers, billing, view, and exit. Input, print, enter choice. The fifth one, do you want another transaction? If the user say no, it will be stopped. If the user say yes, it is going to proceed to output. Here's your choices: first destination, second passenger, billing, view, exit. And to the next input, print, enter.
So without further ado, let me proceed to our actual coding. So our goal is to create an application that includes adding passenger record and billing and viewing the total record. In order to add a passenger, of user has to provide the passenger's name, destination, the number of passengers, and have discount. So the package of it is on a package of midterm practical exam and imported the Java string.j option thing to see an output of basic UI. So the public class is bus reservation and ticketing program. So it is a public static void main with a thrown an exception of IO and also the backward reader in to handle some strings and also other functions. So as we said on our flowchart, we initialize everything on general, and this is our first step. Is the string user and password, the YN, the search, and again the choice. Then int of 2 of 0 and y is equals to 1, then t is equals to 0, then n is equals to 0, then r is equals to 1. So int available of array and int ticket of integer and string of ticket s and double ticket of t, then double pay and double of change. So while true. So as we know that while true is a infinity loop, so we're going to be asked to input the user of user. Then after that, the password is now we're going to be asked to input the password. So for int of o equals to 0 and else, so 0 is less than or equals to 5, then o plus plus. So available o equals to 0. So if user equals to admin and the password equals to the admin, which is set to be the value of user and password. So for int and for the int is now equals to x equals to 1, then x is equal to 1, then the main menu would be look like this as a string format. Here is the choices, the destination, the passenger, the billing, the view, and the exit. And then next to that is the for x is equals to 1, then x is equals to 1, then the choices would be prompted to enter the choices. Then if the choice is equals to 1, the string destination of this format would be printed. So destination, the fare, the seat, the Cavite, the Bacoor, the Dasmariñas, the Kawit, and the fare price, and the available seats. So the entry option would be prompted to see this destination as an information message. So x equals to 0 to be used as a looping statement. Then if the choice is equals to 2, then proceed to the ticketing book. So else if the choice equals to 2, then int print is equals to 1, then display the first destination details. The is in the string format of this of destination, the fare, and the seat available. Then J option will be prompted to see the PWD, the students and senior citizens, is with 20% discount as an information message. Then if the available of 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and 5 consecutively is equals to 0, then we will be prompted to see the sorry, we don't have available seats for all destinations. It's an error message. Then x is equals to 0 as a looping statement, then inputting the passenger's name. So else for x is equals to 1, then x is equal 1, then ticket s of c with the index of 0, we will see the enter the passenger's name, then x is equals to 0. So for int of I is equals to 0, then I is less than c, so I plus plus. So if ticket s of I with the index of 0 is equals to s of ticket and of c with the index of 0, then we will be prompted to see, sorry, passengers already have been used. So x is equals to 1. So for x is equal to 1 and x is equals to 1, then we will see the destination as an information message. Then once again, the PWD, the students, and the senior citizens is with 20% discount. And we will get the value of 2 as we input to enter the destination number. And if 2 is less than 1 or 2 is less than 5 or 2 is greater than 1 rather, then the J option pane will be prompted to invalid output. So for D is equals to 1 and D is less than or equal to 5, then D plus plus. So if 2 is equals to D, then we're going to be asked if the available 2 is equal to 0. So the J option pane will be once again prompted, sorry, we don't have available seats, try again as an error message. Then X equals to 0 as a looping, then convert the integer to string. So string des is equals to space, and Cavite City, Bacoor City, Dasmariñas, Tagaytay, and Cavite. So double fare would be 0, 600, 170, 150, 200, and 250, converted to the integer to string, transferred to the storage array. So ticket of C with the index of 1 is equals to that equals to 2. So ticket D of C with the index of 0 is now equals to fare equals to 2. So for X is equals to 1 and X equal to 1, so ticket integer of C with the index of 0 is now going to be asked for a value of how many passengers are we. So for int of P equals to 1 and P is less than or equal to 5, then P plus plus. So for 2 equals to P, then P equals to 1, then available 2 is equals to the available 2 minus by the ticket I of C with the index of 0. So if the subtracted available seat is less than 0, display an error. Add the inputted number to the subtracted 6 to the back to the original set. Display the value of available seat and back to inputting. So if available 2 is less than 0, then we're going to be prompted to see, sorry, we don't have available seats. 4 concatenated by the value of ticket I of C with the index of 0 concatenated by the person as an error message. Then we only have of concatenated of the value of available 2 plus the seat available of string as an information message. Then equals to 1 and print 0 is equals to 0 rather, then else x is equals to 0. So 4 is equals x equals to 1, then x equals to 1. Ticket I of C with a index of 1, we're going to ask how many passengers have discounts. So if the ticket I of C with the index of 1 is less than by the ticket of C of index of 0, we're going to see invalid input. And also number of passengers are only, then the value of ticket of I of C of index of 0 concatenated by the exclamation point upstream as an information message. Then x is equals to 1 as a looping, then else, then break. So if print is equals to 1, string details string, that format or the string format would be look like this: the passenger name, the passenger destination, number of passengers, fare price, number of passengers with discount. To continue, print out the passenger details as an information message, then ticket S of C with the index of 2 is equals to 0 of string. So the double discount is equals now with the double ticket of C and the index of 0 minus by the ticket D of C with the index of 0, then multiplied to 0.2, then multiplied by the ticket I of C with the index of 1, then ticket D of C with the index of 2 is equals to the ticket of I and C with the index of 0 minus by the ticket I of C, then the index of 0, then multiplied by the ticket D of C with the index of 0 plus the discount. Then x plus x is now equals to 0, then x plus plus. So else if the choice equals to 3, 4x is now equals to 1, then x is equal to 1. The search will now run as enter as a passenger's name. So equals to 1. So 4 P equals to 0. So P is less than C. So P plus plus. So the string format would be look like this. So passenger's name, the passenger's destination, the fare price, the number of passengers, the number of discounts concatenated with their values. So to show the details when the name is recorded, if search that if search is equals to the ticket B, the ticket S of B with the index of 0, so the JPIN will be prompted to see the details. So S equals now to 0, then X equals to 0. So if the ticket S of B with the index of 0 is equals to X, then change option will be prompted as the passenger is already paid. So X equals to 0. So else the ticket S of B with the index of 2 is equals to X of string. So for X equals to 1, then X equals to 1. So J option will be print out as the value of the passenger's total fare with the value of concatenated ticket D of B on index 2. So pay of B double, we're going to enter to pay. So the change would be equals to the pay B minus by the ticket D of B and index 2. So if change B is less than 0, so we will see an invalid output prompted by the change option as an error message. And now the X is equals to 1, so else the J option will be also prompted for change with the value of change of B as concatenated, then X equals to 0 as a looping. So if S equals to 1, then the J option pane will be prompted the passenger name not found. So as an error message, so for int Q is equals to 1, then Q equals to 1. So again, the J option will be asked as you want another transaction, so Y and N could be the answer. So question message will be prompted on the J option. So if again is equals to Y, then the Q equals to 0. So else if again equals to N, so Q equals to 0. So X equals to 0. So else invalid output, then try again as an error message on the JPIN option. So else if the choice is equals to 4, so for int Sx equals to 1, then Sx is less than or equal to 3, then search will be prompted as a search passenger name, then int S is equals to 1, then for X is equals to 0, or X is less than or equal to C, then X plus plus. So if search is equals to the ticket S of X with the index of 0, we will be prompted to see this printed by the system out print line some spaces and passengers details, which is the passenger's name, the passenger's destination, the fare price, the number of passengers, number of passengers with discount, the total fare price with their value of concatenated by their variable. So if the ticket S of X with the index of 2 is equals to X, then system the print outline the pay with the pay of concatenated with the value of pay of X. So change plus change of X will be also printed. So J option pane would be the status is paid, else the status is not paid will be prompted as a warning message. So S equals to 0, so Sx equals to 4. So if S equals to 1, then the J option pane will be prompted to see the passenger name not found as an error message. So Sx plus plus. So else if the choice equals to 5, which is the last leaf or the end, so n equals to 1. So x equals to 0. So J option pane will be prompted as thank you, else. So J option dialog will be prompted as an invalid output. As an error message, then x equals now to 1. So for y equals to 1, so y equals to 1. Then if n equals to 1, then break. So yn or the yn is the yes option and no option. So do you want another transaction? So if n or if rather if y, so x equals to 1, then y equals to 0. So else if yn is equals to n, so thank you as an okay option on GPay. So break, then lastly the else. So input is invalid as an error message, then y equals to 1. So else, then we're going to be prompted to see the invalid user or password, then try again as an error message. So that's how we do our actual coding process. Now it's time to run our code. So we'll be prompted to see the username we entered. So that is admin. The password is also admin. So we're going to see, here is your choices. So the choices are the destination, the passenger, the billing, and the view, and lastly the exit. So we're going first to see the destination. So Cavite City, the Bacoor City, the Las Marinas, the Tagaytay, the Kawit, and the fare price of each, and the seating capacity, and we will be prompted if do we want another transaction, since we're going to check others functions. So y, so next is the passenger. Okay. So as we know, the PWD, the students and the senior citizens have 20% discount. So enter the passenger's name. So let's say my name. Then we want to go on Bacoor City. Then PWD students and senior citizens have 20% discount. That's 2. So Bacoor is 2. How many passengers are you? Let's say we are 15. And the discounts have 5. So now we will be going to see the passenger details, which is the passenger name is Julios, and passenger destination is Bacoor City, number of passengers 15, and the fare price is 170, and number of the discount is 5. So do we want another transaction? So let's say yes. Let's put another 1 passenger. So number 2. Then let's input Martin's name. So now Martin wants to go on Tagaytay. So that's number 4. So how many passengers are you? So let's say number 5. So many passengers have discount. So let's say 2. So Martin's passenger is the passenger's name. Then passenger's destination is Tagaytay. Then number of passengers 5. Then fare price is 200. So the number of passengers with a discount is 2. So click OK. So let's say we want to pay or for the billing, it's number 3. So let's choose number 3. So let's enter Martin's name, for example. So Martin's name is going to Tagaytay. The fare price is 200 and passenger 5 with discount of 2. So the total price is 220. So let's enter the amount to pay. So for example, he was going to pay 1,000 pesos. So the change is 80 pesos. Then we want another transaction. So let's say I'm not going to pay. So let's view. So that's number 4. So search passenger's name. So my name is Rose. That will be the status is not paid. So do you want another transaction? So let's say let's view. So passenger's name is Martin. The status is paid. So another way is also, let's put a yes here. Then we're going to see if the destinations have been deducted our seats. So that's 1. So the available seats for Bacoor now is 5, which is 20 earlier, and now the Tagaytay is 15, which is 20 earlier. Then now, let's put some ESC here. Then, lastly is the exit. Upon exit, we will see the prompt thank you, and we will be asked to put the username. Since we were done, because now we're going on a trip, so another person would be going to input the username. So, for example, I am another admin, so I'm going to put some username and passcode. So let's say I'm going to put Martin another again. This is Martin. Sorry, the passenger's name I've already used. But if we put another person here, so we're going to say the seat is also now available since we're done going on a trip. So it's 5, destination 5, which is the Jovie. So I'm going to recommend, let's say 20. So how many have discount? So let's say 10. Okay. So it's going to Jovie and 20 passengers with a fare price of 250, so 10. So enter the username, admin. So the passcode is also admin. So lastly, so let's say now exit. So thank you. So that's how we gonna use our program. That's how we run it. So I hope you learn a lot in this video, and thank you.
Lastly, we would like to thank you for our prof, Sir Randy. Hi sir, thank you for all of the time and attention you've given to us. We've learned a lot under your instruction. Now, other teachers have never invested so much time. We are really grateful. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of us, and may God bless you all.